Our next guest is not too cool for school because he is the CEO of one of the UAE's biggest private school operators. He is the CEO of Taaleem, Alan Williamson. Morning, Alan.
Good morning. Great to be on the Business Breakfast again.
Busy morning for you. You say that enrolment is up at all of your schools. You say the KHDA is reporting positive trends. What can you tell us?
Yeah, it's good news for schools across the UAE. The economy is doing very well in Dubai and Abu Dhabi and surviving the global pressures. And with that comes population growth. And with population growth, we need school places. Taaleem's numbers have grown significantly this year. We have opened 8 new schools, which is a record for Taaleem. So it's been a very, very busy summer for the organisation. Student numbers were around 20,000 at the end of last year, and our busy principals and teachers open the schools today with 27,000 students, which is fantastic news for Taaleem.
And that's just here in the UAE?
That is just in the UAE, yeah. We're a homegrown company and we only operate in the UAE. We operate in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and for the first time we're opening schools today in the Northern Emirates.
Let's talk about school fees, because we get so many questions about this. Now, in March, the KHDA, which regulates schools here in Dubai, said no more school fee hikes. And we were talking about this last week, and yet we got a number of messages in for parents. Well, my school got an exemption, and they did raise school fees a little bit. On aggregate, what's happened with school fees this year versus last year?
Yeah, well, school fees were frozen by ADEC and by KHDA. The not-for-profit schools, the likes of Dubai College and Desks, were able to increase their fees because of their not-for-profit status. So they would have given a justification to KHDA, and KHDA allowed them to increase the fees. For everyone else in the for-profit sector, our fees were frozen.
Well, the lines between the two may be being blurred because over the summer, Taaleem acquired Jebel Ali School, which traditionally was a not-for-profit school here in the UAE, been around an awfully long time. And we've heard a lot about M&A and acquisitions over the past few months here in the UAE school sector. Talk me through that transaction, because we are the Business Breakfast, so we do look at the business angle of this.
Yeah, Jebel Ali School is a fantastic school. It's been around since 1977. The opportunity came up to work in partnership with them through the Ruler's Court of Dubai, and we took the school over. We decided to freeze the fees there. As part of the agreement, we will give the parents their debenture back over the next 5 years. It's a wonderful school. It's doing extremely well. We've actually put 200 extra students in the school as a result of taking it over, which tells me that the difference between a not-for-profit school and a for-profit school is not as great as many parents would claim it to be. In terms of mergers and acquisitions, I think one of your earlier guests talked about the strength of schools groups. Certainly Sean did on Friday when he was on the show.
That's Sean Robertson of BBD Education.
Correct. And Sean's got a good eye for the market. I suppose it's much easier to do well as a schools group. The growth that comes from that, the economies of scale, the ability to recruit teachers and retain them, where leadership opportunities, etc., come up for these fantastic teachers. They don't need to hop around individual schools. So really, we're talking now about the not-for-profit schools being the standalone schools. Everybody else is looking at economies of scale, and that gives a company with Taaleem's ambitions and being low leveraged an opportunity for growth and an opportunity for acquisition.
What's going to be the natural equilibrium level for a profit margin for a private schools operator here? Because we have to balance the needs of parents who write in saying the fees are going up and it's paying school fees is a challenge. And yet, if we want investment in new schools and good schools and new teachers, then clearly that's got to be funded. So you've got to balance the needs of the two, the parents paying the fees and incentivising the investors? What's going to be that natural level for a profit margin, do you think, Alan?
I mean, that's a fantastic question. Undoubtedly, schools do need to invest. We've spent around 10 million on capex this year.
10 million what?
Dirham.
Okay.
In our legacy schools. We have to enhance the facilities to make sure they're world class. In terms of teacher salaries, Taaleem, I think we're the only schools group in Dubai that have enhanced teacher salaries this year. We took that decision in terms of improving our teacher retention, and that comes with cost. And in relation to that, our profitability is good because we're growing. And in the school sector, it's quite interesting in that if you've got a growing school, the younger students are at a lower fee point, and as the students go through the school, the profitability increases because you charge a higher fee at the top end. So that's actually benefited Taaleem in terms of growth. So at the moment, Taaleem are doing very well. Moving forward, these inflationary pressures and the need to keep world-class teachers in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, I believe will mean that we have to put up the school fees. And I think what's interesting there is price point. Taaleem operate in what I would call the premium plus sector. We don't operate in the super premium. We believe that we offer values-based education at best value. And, it's affordable premium, and aspirational middle-class parents aspire to schools like Dubai British School and Jumeirah Baccalaureate School.
Let's talk about curriculums. We spoke to the guys from GEMS earlier. Clearly a big focus there on Indian curriculum schools, always had been there. That's not really your strong suit traditionally, was it, at Taaleem? I think of you as British curriculum schools, a lot of international baccalaureate schools as well. Where are you seeing the demand? Are there any other new niches in curriculums that parents are looking for?
Well, our British curriculum schools with Jebel Ali coming on board are actually at capacity up to, I think, year 10 in Dubai British School, Emirates Hills, and Dubai British School, Jumeirah Park. We're now full. So we have no capacity there. UK curriculum for me is still popular. Taaleem would be evidence of that. So we intend to build 2 new Dubai British schools opening in 2024 to meet that demand. In terms of international baccalaureate, we've just built a 3,000 campus in Abu Dhabi for Raha, the only all-through outstanding IB school in the UAE. I think the change for us is a growth of American curriculum, and that's to do with the public-private partnership with the Abu Dhabi government and the Dubai government.
Alan, we'll have to leave it there. Busy day for you. You're going to have to get back to school, aren't you? Alan Williamson is the CEO of Taaleem, one of the biggest private schools operators here in Dubai. Appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
With McDonald's.